Hey folks, I'm Ron and welcome to Ron's Rants, and I'm here to rant a little bit. So I haven't been doing too many videos here lately, kind of taking a break and seeing what's happening, kind of listening to all the things that are coming over the media, and you really don't know what to believe today. But I know one thing, Donald Trump is a popular guy, and Donald Trump is probably the best president we've ever had. Accomplished more in 4 years than any other president that I know of, at least in my lifetime. And I look at the events that are happening today, and I mean, just look at what's happening. I mean, Twitter and Facebook, they banned Donald Trump. What happens? They lose $51 billion in market share. 51 billion. I mean, imagine that. I mean, imagine those kind of losses over just deleting his accounts. They don't realize that it's not just Donald Trump they're trying to defeat. It is 85, maybe 100 million of us conservatives. And there's probably some Democrats that really like Donald Trump. They might not like all his rhetoric and the way he comes across sometimes, but he's a man of the people. He is a man of the people. You know, I go back World War II, and if you look at people like George Patton, who was one of the notorious generals, not too many people liked him. He was vulgar, used foul language. He would slap a soldier in a minute if the soldier was a coward. I mean, that's the kind of guy he was. But Eisenhower, who was his boss, knew, and Roosevelt, who was the president at the time, knew if they took him out of there, they may lose this war. They may lose the Second World War. Go back as far as Grant. And Grant was an alcoholic. I mean, he was probably a pretty terrible person. But Lincoln knew without Grant, he wouldn't win the war. Okay, so these type of leaders are necessary, and Trump's a good man. I mean, you can find fault with some of his words that he uses, his rhetoric, and you may not like everything that comes out of his mouth. I don't like everything that comes out of his mouth, but he's cared more for this country than any other politician. And he's not a politician, by the way. He's a businessman. And he's a strong leader. I mean, look at what's happened. The Democrats have tried to destroy Donald Trump since day one. They've tried to impeach him since day one. Now he's been impeached twice. And as far as I'm concerned, it doesn't hold any water because it was never voted on. He was never tried for it. He was never convicted of any crimes. It was just the motions they went through. But let's think about this. If you're American out there and you're struggling and you're trying to feed your family and you've lost your job or you've lost your business due to this COVID shutdown, think about it. Think about how quickly they drew up the articles of impeachment and can't even get a stimulus check out in 9 or 10 months to families, American families that really need it. But they're more concerned with sending money overseas, billions of dollars, and then they want to give the American public $600. I mean, what's wrong with a tyrannical government that runs like this? And the Republicans, and I'm a Republican, and I'm really considering changing. And I really think we need a new party. I'd like to see the Patriot Party. And I'd like to see everybody, the Republicans and the conservatives, and even some Democrats, come over to the Patriot Party and let's start taking care of America first, okay? Instead of sending billions of dollars overseas, half of this probably payoffs for all the election fraud and everything that's going on with these countries. And you wait, it's going to come to light. All these things will come to light. But you think Biden's the answer? If you voted for Biden, you're part of the problem, okay? That guy, he probably is not going to even make it. And then you're going to have to deal with Kamala, okay? Kamala Harris, who's a radical and wants to take away all your rights. I mean, look at what we've lost in the last year, the rights and the freedoms that we've lost. Free speech. We're forced to wear a mask. We're forced to stay in our house. We've got curfews. Our leaders support BLM and Antifa. That's what they support. Everything that's wrong is now right for some reason. I mean, Swalwell, Swalwell, Nancy's pet project there. I mean, he's comparing Donald Trump to bin Laden. I mean, this guy is more concerned with bang bang, fang fang, than he is with the American people. But he's going after Donald Trump, and this guy doesn't have a good record. I mean, he should just keep his mouth shut. He really should. But he's too dumb. You know, they claim to be smart, these people, but they've left they've set so much behind that's going to be, that someday it's going to all come to light. These truths will come to light. And I believe that our God is working mysteriously behind the scenes, and he will bring this to light, okay? You just have to have faith. And we can't give up. And the American people need to fight for their freedom and keep fighting. And we cannot give up. We cannot give up. You know, they've done everything to denounce Donald Trump, to make him look bad. And in my eyes, in the world's eyes, he's gotten stronger. Everything they throw at him, he continues to get stronger. And Donald Trump, I truly believe in my heart, will not go quietly into the night. He will not go without a whimper. There's something there. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it'll be 4 more years when he comes back. I don't know if he'll do something on the 20th. Who knows? These are my opinions only. I'm just trying to get the truth out. And these are truth facts. But they have done nothing but put this man down since day one. And he has done nothing but try to help the American people. Sometime, take a few minutes, go online and look up all his accomplishments. You will be amazed. I mean, what he's done for people, what he's done for pets, what he's done for everything. Look at this vaccine. I'm not too crazy about taking his vaccine yet, but he's done what he said he was going to do and more. He kept his promises. But here's a guy that's been thrown to the wolf. He's been thrown to the wolves. And you know, at the end of the day, what's going to happen? Donald Trump's going to come back leading the pack. Think about that. He has been thrown to the wolves, but he's going to come back leading the pack. And you can take my words to the bank, because I think it'll happen. This man has amazing intestinal fortitude, and he is not about to give up. And he's a good man. He talks to the American people like they're people. Okay? Yes, he is a law and order president. He doesn't want to put up with a bunch of crap. Okay? And I don't blame him. And that's the way we should be. We should be a nation of law and order. And anybody that thinks that he had anything to do with that break-in at the Capitol is out of their minds. That was planned. I mean, you look at some of the videos where the police are letting him in. You look at some of the pictures they've taken. I mean, what Trump supporters come to a Trump rally with backpacks and hammers and helmets and devices, ball bats, and things to damage things? You got it. BLM and Antifa. And that's behind a lot of that. Maybe some of some of the radical guys that might have been there for Trump followed him in and maybe they got in trouble. Yeah, that may have happened. But I would think that this thing was instituted and planned. It was planned in advance, I promise you that. Okay? Trump didn't cause that. Okay? He gets his base fired up because he loves the American people. And God help us if he doesn't get back in office, because we need a strong leader. We don't need Joe Biden. All Joe Biden is going to do is line his own pockets. He's going to put all the things that Trump did, he's going to change. And he's going to put us back in the same place we were. And we're going to be billions more in debt, trillions more in debt. We're going to be sending more money to countries overseas. He even said he was going to knock down the wall that we built, 450 miles. He's going to bring these illegals in. They're going to get your jobs. They're going to be paid less and get your jobs. And it's going to destroy this nation. This nation will become a third world nation if we allow it to happen. But I have more faith in the American people. But we have to come together as a united people. Yeah, there's going to be some bad people out there, and there's always going to be the groups like Antifa and BLM and whoever they are, even white supremacists. There's going to always be those groups. But I have to believe that the general population of this country is a good and wholesome people. And we love this country, and we care about law and order. We care about our military. We care about our veterans. We care about our people. We care about our citizens, our aging citizens. And don't let them take this away. Don't let these corrupt, tyrannical Democrats, leftists, and even some of the Republicans go that way. There is some good Republicans, but they're far and few in between. Okay? And these leaders of the past, Obama, he has caused so much strife in this country and division. It's unbelievable. It started with him. Bush before him, I used to think he was a Republican. No, it's Bush, Yeah, look at all the wars they started. Has Trump started any wars? Hell no. He has not started wars. He's trying to bring our troops home. How many lives, how many sons and daughters have been lost? How many parents cry and over their loss, their children that went to war for this country that didn't have to die? They were sent away to foreign laws or wars that should not have been fought. Things that had nothing to do with us. I'm not talking about the Second World War. I'm not talking about those kind of wars. I'm talking about all the conflicts that we got into in the Mideast. How we've been over there losing men left and right, and women too. And for what? For what? So they can line their pockets. So they could spend more money on military. So they could send more money to these other countries. In the meantime, we lost sons and daughters. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. I'm a veteran. God, I served my time in Vietnam, but it was different then. It was a different time, and I wasn't rewarded when I came back. We weren't, veterans in the Vietnam era weren't looked on very highly. The best thing we could do is grow our hair long and try to fit back into society. We weren't treated very well, but we did our duty, okay? We went and did our duty because we were asked by our country. But the same people that are asking us to fight and die are the same people that are screwing us and taking our freedoms away. It comes a time in this world when we can no longer sit still. We can no longer lay down and accept what they're trying to sell us. It's up to every American that cares about this country to stand up, or else you won't have a country. And I promise you this. I've been in other countries in the world, and there's no place like the U.S. But if you look at some of our cities today, torn down, burnt down, destroyed, no law and order, crime in the streets. They look like a third world country. We've got to fix these problems, and we've got to stand up for our country. And it's got to be America first. It's got to be. We cannot help other countries and other people that have issues or are suffering from disasters that they didn't create, maybe natural disasters. We can't help them if we're broke, if we're sending billions of dollars to these foreign countries that are not even our friends. A lot of these places are our enemies. Iran, Russia, China. China's buying up land in this country, left and right. Why? They wanted to send 250,000 Chinese troops here to help us maintain order. Are you kidding me? If we ever did that, the next thing would be overrun. They wanted troops in Canada and Mexico. What do you think would happen? They are buying land in Jamaica. Why? So they can put a base there. Do you realize how close they'd be in striking distance? Biden thinks they're not our enemy. Oh, I think different. And you should too. China, for the last 20 or 30 years, has been building up with a plan to take us over. And that's exactly what they're doing. They're buying our politicians. They're paying people off. They're buying land in Oklahoma from these Texas ranchers. These Oklahoma ranchers. They're buying their land at 3 to 4 times the value just to get the land. Why do you think that is? I know why. And you should too. They want to take over this country. And if China takes over our country, be prepared. If you're a patriot, if you're a conservative, be prepared to be in a concentration camp, or worse, a prison, or worse. They will just kill you outright. Because in China, you do what they say they're going to do, or else you're eliminated. So I know I've ranted a long time and talked about a lot of subjects, but there's a lot going on. I haven't talked for a while, and I hope you'll subscribe to my channel, and hopefully you'll listen to some of the words. And I know it's a long rant, and I know people attention spans don't last this long a lot of times, but there's a lot of things that has to be said. And if I can get one word out, if I can get one person or 10 people to listen to what I got to say and say, he's got a point. This is what's happening in the world. Okay? So I thank you for listening. Please subscribe, like my channel. Please feel free to give me your comments, pro or con. I don't care. I love getting those, and even the negative ones. I like to turn them into a positive, and I like to have debate why you think I'm not correct, or why you think that you want to be a Democrat, or you believe in the leftist movement in this country. Or you want to be a socialist. You think socialist or communism is the right way to go. Do your history, do your research, find out all the countries that have gone to these types of governments and see what happens. They've all failed. They've all failed. I thank you for your time, and we'll talk soon. This is Ron with Ron Rants.